All right, the Kakamas hospital in the Northern Cape says that the number of people who have died of heat stroke has now risen to 7. The hospital also reports that one person is on a ventilation machine and is recovering well. Over the last few weeks, the Kakamas area has experienced temperatures in their 40s. Let's get more of an update. We now cross to SABC News senior reporter Ulrich Hendriks, who's on standby for us. There, very good afternoon to you, Ulrich. All right, let's talk about the latest then on the situation in Kakamas. I mean, we're hearing, of course, that there's been an increase in that death toll rising to 7 at this point, I believe. I mean, I suppose, one of the questions as well is just how bad this heat is in the Northern Cape. I mean, we're also certainly feeling it here in Gauteng, but it must be quite something in the Northern Cape then.
Hi, good morning. Good afternoon, Flo. Well, at the moment, while where we're standing, that's at Ochrabes, just outside Kakamas. The temperature is about 40 degrees. That is extremely hot, but just to give you just to put you in perspective, in this area about a couple of weeks ago, they recorded temperatures of 51 degrees. And so within 40, 45, it's been hovering on those temperatures for the past couple of days within this area. So extremely hot in this area. And of course, it is the peak season for harvesting. Table grape farmers just completed their harvest this week, and now it's the time for the raisin farmers to start harvesting. So you have thousands of workers, migrant workers mostly, coming to this area to assist with harvest, and most of that then happens from about 6 o'clock to about 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I can tell you, from around 9 o'clock, it's unbearably hot in this area. This morning when we were at the hospital, at Kakamas Hospital, at around that time, we experienced temperatures of around 33 degrees already then. So that just escalates during the day, and now we're not even taking humidity into account as well.
Yeah.
So extremely hot here, temperatures from 40, 45 up to 50 degrees.
Sure, goodness. And then we'd also heard that there was one person who's on a ventilation machine. However, we hear that the person is recovering well. Is there any sort of update at this point regarding that particular patient? Because I think at some point it was sort of touch and go.
The doctors managed to stabilize her flow. That's according to Dr. Pasquale George, who we spoke to earlier. He basically said that they use all the means at their disposal from last night up to this morning. So they managed to stabilize her. She has been intubated. They're hoping to extubate her during the day towards this evening, and hopeful that she will remain treated and she'll be able to basically speak either tomorrow or on Sunday. So the prognosis for that patient is good. But he also said that because of the heat wave and the number of the degrees remaining very high, that they're basically on standby to receive more people during this weekend. Yeah. Water remains a struggle in the Keigerib municipality where we are. The municipality says because of load shedding and because of the high levels of load shedding, they are unable to pump water to the reservoir, and so a number of residents and areas are without water during this heat wave, of course exacerbating the situation where people are experiencing high heat. And so the hospital says that they remain on high alert for a number of cases of heat stroke.
Yeah. Ulrich, I mean, that's very concerning when you're talking about the issue of water shortage and the struggle to get water in these kinds of conditions. And now we understand why people are in fact ending up in hospital, due to heat stroke, because they can't do anything about it in some instances. Has there been any sort of communication then from whether it is the provincial government, about how people must deal with the issue of being in this heat wave, but also the fact that there are these water shortages? Is there any form of communication of what people should do in this situation?
Well, from the provincial government, we've only heard from the health department, of course, this morning only, confirming by then the death of 5 people. But they did also say that people should refrain from, walking into open sun and keep hydrated, etc. But the local authority has said that they will, of course, look to tank water into the affected areas, which is at 3 towns. It's Kakamas, Kaimus and Kenhardt. So thousands of people affected by that water shortage. But also the doctor that we spoke to, and they said that they are going to try to get awareness campaigns out there to basically tell people that they must wear lighter clothes, especially these farm workers where this happened, to keep hydrated, to drink huge amounts of water as much as you can. And of course, when you experience heat stroke or the symptoms of heat stroke, which includes dizziness, dehydration, heart palpitations, he said that your blood pressure will drop as well. He said once that happens, you need to get to a medical practitioner immediately, because he said that once from the onset of the symptoms to a fatality, it can be as short as 1 hour. So immediately once you start feeling dizziness or something like that, you need to go to a doctor. But he also said that once you start experiencing dizziness, is to also to try to lower your temperature, and that can include taking cloths, wet rags and cloths, put it in under your arm and in your groin area, and of course on your chest, to basically try to get that temperature down, so that you and then get to a hospital or a health practitioner.
All right, Ulrich, thanks very much to you. Ulrich Hendriks for us in Kakamas in the Northern Cape. We were sadly hearing that 7 people have indeed passed away due to that heat stroke. And on the back of that, that patient that was indeed on a ventilation machine is recovering. And we understand that doctor, as Ulrich reports, the doctors were able to stabilize that patient, and she is recovering well.